Welcome to this week's update. This week I had something to do over on Sweet Creek 25A, and so before I headed south I was coming from that direction. So we're getting on from the westbound side of 40 instead of the eastbound side. A little bit of a different look. It's probably going to have to be paved again. I actually paved it only a couple of years before they started construction, but that's been over 5 years now, so oh well. I also wonder if this section is going to get widened. It doesn't make sense that it's going to stay at 3 lanes when they have 5 lanes up here. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out, but I about guarantee you we're going to have 4 lanes coming from the start down to here. So here we go up the hill to 191, and not much terribly exciting here because everything's basically done. So I'm going to say so too much. I need to find a different word. These are starting to change. Not quite the explosion that we're expecting in another 3 weeks, but they're started. Under 191. Wonder when the circus is going to be here. They're usually October. No. We do have some work going on. And the radar complains about speed. Actually gets a few people to hit their brakes, which is nice, but it needs to be set a lot lower when it's raining because this is not safe. Running through here when it's seriously raining is not fun. Got people on the left now. They are putting down more gravel and getting ready to do some paving. They are not laying out filter paper yet, but it does appear that they're doing final grading and leveling. And there's the Pratt & Whitney building. You can just see it as you're coming across the top of the hill. Coming down here, it's looking like they're going to have the final beams going on very soon, like within the next 1 to 2 weeks, maybe 3 at most. And we're driving into the sun because it's pretty early in the morning, which stinks, but we get a better look on the way back because the sun's more behind us. We don't take too long down here. Tractors on the left, they are moving around and they are leveling some gravel out. There was one road grader that had a survey laser holding its blade perfectly level and at a perfect depth. So we'll see how soon from here they get the filter paper down and start paving. It'll be fun in another 3 to 5 weeks to have the leaves off the trees and other weeds and so forth in the middle there, so we can see a little bit more of what's going on the other side. Still a little hard to see much of anything, but without the leaves at least you have a chance. Coming up here, I was a little bit surprised to see what was happening, but I did see that the new crane pad is being made from the gravel down in the mechanical stabilization. So maybe they're dropping that grade a little bit. Maybe they're going to replace that gravel. I don't know, but you can just see real quick there the tractor moving back and forth on the gravel, and they've got piles of it coming up the hill in dump trucks. So within a week, give or take, we should see the big crane move over onto the new pad to start lifting pieces for the bridge. And this crane here, I'm guessing, is for the, see, they're picking up gravel right there off the mechanical stabilization. We will see what that turns out to be. Gonna have to replace some of it. I don't know, maybe it got crushed up too much. Who knows? Maybe it was contaminated with the asphalt. Ooh, that's a different thought. I don't know. I don't care. It's being used for the crane pad, so whatever. So passing this truck, going over long shoals, you can see as we get past the truck that they are doing some changing to this slope up here. I'm not sure what it's going to end up being, but it's definitely not going to be the same. There's something happening with all of this that's going to be different. And they're digging that out a little bit, but everybody's down at the other end near Glen Bridge, or just past Glen Bridge right now. They'll be working back this way. I tried to pull over just a little bit to be able to see some of what's happening. There was a tractor up at the top of the hill, and he was pushing dirt around, but you know, I couldn't see because I was headed the other direction. You can see some stuff getting moved right there. You can see him sitting ready to push some dirt down the hill or wherever it went. But up here they have the temporary asphalt that they put down so that they could have all 4 lanes over there while they built this side. And they had the old concrete that we drove north on, or whatever, so that they could have everybody shifted over there. And they've ground up a lot of the asphalt, maybe not quite all of it, but they are definitely excuse me, digging out the concrete that was down. Those medians haven't moved. Who knows when they will, when it becomes important. Up here there they are. That's where they're digging. They're not taking out Glen Bridge Bridge quite yet, so who knows. Dump truck headed up that way. He honestly looks a little empty, but then right here they're literally pulling up the concrete, just breaking it all out. So it's going away. It's going to take a while, but then they're just going to have to refinish the grade, and they'll be able to pave again. Going past the airport now. Got all this clearing going on under the bridge. They are definitely working hard at replacing that. this little bit of shift here. We've got everybody on the far side on both outsides, so there's going to be a little bit of replacement there in the middle, doing some more concrete work, and the median is waiting to be paved, to be poured. So I would say that we are completed, because they're putting that median in, and there's no way after pouring it in place they're going to be shifting anything through there. That would be a mess. Yeah, so everything is done from the airport to about Fletcher, just before Fletcher. And then there was a great big surprise, and I mean a really massive surprise for everybody. Down at Fletcher. Nice flat run here, going across King Creek. And it's all boring when it's all done, so jump forward, I don't know, 10 to 20 seconds, and we'll be at Fletcher. Not much. Yeah, pretty much everything from that lane shift down to Fletcher is complete. So just past, or just before this bridge, going to Fletcher is complete. But today there was nothing there. They had this road completely blocked off. Nobody was here, and well, no traffic was here, and they were working on it, and they were working on it to like 10 o'clock in the morning. It was a log jam, freaking total non-moving traffic from Fletcher to Hendersonville. I don't know what they were doing. I couldn't see anything that was blatant enough that I could tell what was happening, but as you can see, all the traffic is getting taken off the freeway here, and they were moving pretty decently. But there's a truck up here about another mile on. Either he stalled or they had an accident, and because of that it was literally stopped traffic. And there was an ambulance and two, or was it an ambulance? At least two state troopers were trying to get up there to clear them. There they are right there. Or is that it? Anyhow. I'm looking at this single lane. Good that everybody stayed in one lane the rest of the way up. But, you know, can't see a whole lot on the other side, unfortunately. It doesn't really look like a whole lot happened on paving, but, you know, I can't really tell. There they are. That's the stop. And everything from there was literally, I use Waze, and it was saying it was 2 to 3 miles an hour all the way down south of Hendersonville. It was nuts. So much log jam. But it does look like the silence wall was doing about what I expected it to, going up the hill right there. Not much of a glance at it, which is sad, but it does look like what I thought was going to happen is what happened. And now they just have to start bringing in panels and placing them. That's a heck of a lot of silence wall to build. And of course the way station on this side, this side is done, and you know, all the stuff we can't see because it's on the other side of the road. There goes the fire truck. That's what it was. And then there's going to be a state trooper about right here. Then there was another one right close to Hendersonville trying to get through. Yeah, great big mess. And because of this, I'm sorry, but I did not drive back north. I knew that this would be a 2 to 3 hour drive to get up there, and I didn't do it. So I just didn't get that side view over there, and it's going to be interesting to see the handheld. Because the sun was staring right into the phone camera. I hope we can see something. I can't even tell where the paver is. Anyhow, look at all the pretty cars. But the big news is coming up at Clear Creek. They were pulling the forms off today. So get over this hill, take a glance at the grinding operation. And I hustled up a bit because we were about to do a lane shift. I wanted to be on the right hand side going down here. And I think I pulled in, yeah, I pulled in behind this truck, this van. Dump truck going the other way. And here comes Clear Creek. If you look closely, you can see the people standing at the forms, and they were pulling on the forms, so the concrete has fully set, it appears, and now they just gotta build all of the on and off to the bridge in a way that it won't settle and yada yada. Bunch of vehicles right there, so there were a bunch of people getting that finished up and inspecting the bridge. I'd say that was at least 6 or 8 trucks. All the supervisors coming to verify it worked out. And then I had some business in Hendersonville. So I took the first exit. And that was a very short exit. But I'm glad I did, because they've put us onto the new paving, which was a big surprise for me, because, you know, I didn't know when they were going to do it. And we climbed the hill here. And you can see how much they're going to be taking that down. It's literally above the median barriers there that they're going to be cutting down. That's over 3 feet at one point that they're going to be cutting down. And I'm guessing that it's not just to have a slope, but it's to allow them to move it back further so that it will not be as big of a deal coming off of the freeway. So this is, I actually went past the exit coming north, and I looked over and saw that it was clear and open, so I was like, hey, I'm going to run this on-ramp. So I turned around and got back on, like I did the other week, a few weeks ago, without meaning to, but now it's official. You can go down this way. So coming down the new on-ramp for the first time legally. And there's all the people doing the work over there still. So, you know, this was close to 10 o'clock. No, it's 9:15. Who knows? Doing something in the middle of the road, so they had to. Maybe they're doing something to make this curve over a little bit less dramatic. not quite so sharp. I don't know. I couldn't see what was happening, so I have no idea. Oh well. And I really am sad that I missed the run up the other way, but seriously, it was 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour. There's no way I would have gotten back home before way too late. But hey, it left us with a very clear freeway. We're doing something over there with that excavator, 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞. And here comes Cane Creek again. Nicely finished bridge. I want to say that every bit of Cane Creek Bridge is done now. It really feels like it is. They're still working, so I don't know. Maybe they're finalizing some stuff. But one way or the other, we're not going to get all 4 lanes until everything is 100%. I don't know. Passing up the rest area here, and it's pretty much empty. I'll bet you that if anybody was there, they probably kicked them out overnight. Who knows? Take another look at the median with the rebar getting ready to be poured, and maybe shoulder work done in there. And then they're going to have to do the north side of that. And I had business to do off the airport exit, so yeah, this was a business run, but I'm glad to have the excuse to do it. Not always going to have an excuse, and I'm going to be just doing it straight, which will always be interesting because that's a long drive. Look, it's like 70-80 miles round trip from my house to Hendersonville. So if you want to buy me some fuel, that'd be wonderful. Then we go back north from airport, jump back on at my normal place. And I jump over to the far lane to see if I can see anything more. Not a lot to see, but they are definitely pulling up that concrete. So as it works up the hill, that's going to be neat to see. And I do drive this at least 2 or 3 times a week, so it's going to be fun for putting together time lapses. I need to do a few more of those. But they're digging up gravel and digging up concrete, so who knows? It's a big question. Do they reuse the concrete if it doesn't have rebar in it? Do they grind it and use it for gravel and in other concrete? I don't know. There's another excavator over there. Got the sun behind us now, so it's a better view. Pile of medians. How many thousand is that? Maybe 100. Doesn't look like they are taking out Glenbridge Road yet. Doesn't look like they're making preparations to do that, like they're still using it to move stuff around. Who knows? Can't see much of anything, so throw this in here. If you want to see more of this, do the comment, like, and subscribe, and that tells the YouTube algorithm that I'm worth watching, so it'll tell more people, or offer to more people, and see if they like it too. And I've got Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee, so if you want to get on either one of those, that'd be wonderful. Then we come down the hill, go over the top of the hill and go down to Long Shoals. And there's a little bit of work going on down here. Not a lot. Mostly down near Glen Bridge. They're probably going both directions, I don't know. Come around here to take a look at that on-ramp. Temporary. The one on the right there is probably finished, but they're going to have to change something on the other side, because that's just getting people across the way to the current lane shift placement. Had somebody that thought it was going to pass me, and so I pulled over, and they didn't pass me, so I pulled back so I can look at this stuff. And this dump truck's going to slow down going up the hill. 6% grade and all. So we come up here, and they're digging up the gravel. You get a slightly better picture, but worse view. If you look over here again quick, you can see the tractor moving the dirt around. Don't get a really good look at it, but we do get a glance. Shortly. Yeah, there it goes. Not much of a view. So I switch over to the other side so I can watch the work on the right side. Not much change going down the hill, still that road. We'll see how fast that dirt moves. Run across the rumble strip that they didn't pave. That's always fun. Good way to wake you up. And we come down the hill. Not much to see when all you got is trees and hill. But we got the rebar and the filter paper rolls. Rebar pallets and the filter paper rolls. And there was a... there it is. He's got a GPS. No, that wasn't him. Yeah, it was. Anyhow. It was a survey laser holding the blade perfect. I don't know if I didn't see another one on the other side. I wasn't looking too closely, but slowed down for a good look at the bridge. Thankfully there weren't too many people behind me, so that nobody complained. And you can see that the bottom of these piers are done, and they're doing something more on the top. Get the side view to get a better look at that. I still say that area is getting cut down, because all of that is lower than what we're at. Bit of gravel, bit of work. And all of this looks pretty complete. We'll just have to see if they put down filter paper or more gravel. But I do believe that everything is done, and they're just waiting on word to start more concrete work. And then the pavers, all the other equipment to get the stuff where it needs to be. More shoulder work. And here we come back to 191. And this telehandler moving down here with a pallet. Just a pallet, nothing on it. Getting rid of it, I guess. Going to bring more stuff back, because there's some concrete rebar, paving rebar there. I don't know. Going back under 191 now. And that's the full trip. Of course, I always run it out to the at least first or second sign on the level. But if you liked it, let me know. And share this video with as many people as you can find who might be interested in watching it. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week. And we have a Chrysler 300 passing us. Went to the second time this time. Have a good day. See you next week. Bye.